All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as we continue to look at, I should say, the D&D Forgotten Realms Heroes of Faerun. Today, we are going to be looking at the spells, the brand new spells added, or brand new and some maybe changed up perhaps, in the current book. There are several other books, there's other chapters here which I'm going to look at later. I don't know if I'm going to make a video for them specifically, but we might look at them. But specifically, I want to look at stuff that players and DMs have access to for their various characters. So, looking at the spells first. So, one of the few things they've added also is circle magic, which I am not overly fond of, I'm not going to lie. Because of the concept of this, right? So, circle spells are great for stuff that's outside of combat. Within combat, this is a no bueno situation. Because, like I said, you need secondary casters. So the person who initiates it starts the spell. If you're in the middle of combat, you're holding the spell until your secondary casters can get in on that action. So depending on where they are in the initiative, your spell might not go off because if you get hit by anything during your holding of said spell, you have to make a concentration check. Use a concentration, the spell fails, and you have to start all over again. You don't lose your spell slot, but still, it feels bad because then you're wasting a whole turn doing nothing. So, circle spells better used, out of combat, right? So let's go over, like, you guys can pause the video for yourselves here and have a look at these. So you've got the eligible spells, how to start a casting spell, a circle spell, initiate the casting, the secondary casters, completing the casting, spell failure, and that's basically what happens here. So like I said, if the circle fails, nothing happens. You don't expend a spell slot, any material components aren't consumed, and you must start over again. But that's besides the point. Now the reason why you might want to do this is because of the options they give you access to. So these are our options. So augment. So when you cast a spell with a range of at least 5 feet, you can increase the range of the spell by 1,000 feet per secondary caster contributing to the spell. So I don't know where this is useful. Maybe, I don't know, a moonbeam perhaps? You can cast moonbeam 1,000 feet away, but then you can't see 1,000 feet away. So I don't know about that. Because see, the idea is there is vision, right? Players have a amount of vision. Like, even if you're in bright daylight, 1,000 feet's kind of far away. So unless someone's there with an eyeglass or a spyglass or a telescope or something, looking to point out the location, then maybe, sure, it makes sense. I mean, you won't be using Moonbeam because Moonbeam is just a not a weak ass spell, but it's not a powerful spell. You'd probably use, I don't know, something like Sickening Radiance or perhaps even Flame Strike, those kinds of spells could be interesting to have access to. So there's more artillery stuff, right? So this, I feel circle magic is more applicable for DMs than it is for players. Although, I'm sure there's applications we can look at and we can continue looking through as well. So we've got distribute. So when you cast a spell that requires concentration, you can distribute the mental load of the spell among you and the secondary casters. This actually is kind of a cool feature. So in the sense of, you can cast something like, say, haste, for example. And you can distribute the load of concentration on the spell to multiple people. Now, if you all get hit by a fireball, then that's a whole different thing altogether. But one person loses concentration, the spell still stays in effect. So there is application for this, without question. But of course, you need secondary casters, right? So if you don't have multiple spellcasters in your group, circle spells may not be the option. Like if you have a cleric and a wizard, cool. That's 2 people you've got. Then you've got a rogue. Paladins technically have spellcasters, so they could also technically tribute. Rangers can too. So it's a weird one. So I guess if you have the spellcasting feature, you can contribute. So it's a way to maintain concentration on powerful spells, perhaps, that you want to keep up at all times. Like either, let's say something like, I don't know, Aura Vitality perhaps, or even something like, what do you call it? Forgot the spell's name. Not Hero's Feast. What's the one? Beacon of Hope. So there's possibilities, but the problem also is you are limiting people to what they can concentrate on. Like there are a lot of plenty of powerful other spells, like crowd control spells, which require concentration. If you're taking it away from them, if you're taking other people's concentration to do that, they are not able to cast the spells that they want to cast to contribute to a battlefield situation. Which is why I'm saying this seems to be more applicable for DMs than it does for players, right? Then we have expand. You cast a spell that has an area of effect. You can increase one dimension of the spell's area of effect this casting by 10 feet per secondary caster contributed to the spell. So if a spell creates a 20-foot sphere radius, 20-foot radius sphere, sorry, casting a circle spell with 2 secondary casters would increase the radius to 40 feet. A spell would increase a line by 5 feet and 300 foot long. Can either be 25 feet long or 320 feet long. So it's just that, right? Is there an application for this? Sure. Again, better for DMs than it is for players. It's possible. But it's a weird one, right? Because let's say I'm casting, I don't know, let's say I'm casting Fireball at 9th level, right? What do they have to do to contribute to that? So secondary casters, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so it doesn't, wait. You initiate it, that's fine. The spell, the casting can decide any of the other options noted in the spell's description. This is what I mean, though. Like, if I'm casting at 9th level, does everybody else have to cast at 9th level, or can they just contribute any level spell? Like, if I have a paladin, a druid, a warlock, and I'm the wizard, right? If I'm casting a 9th level fireball, and these 3 people, do they just consume a 1st level spell slot to be secondary casters? Or do they have to match the base level of the spell? You know what I mean? Like, will a paladin, will all the other 3 casters have to expend a 3rd level spell slot to help in this increase of size for the expansion? You know? I don't know. Feels weird. Yeah, it just says expend a spell slot. So they don't, it could just be a level 1 spell slot. Okay. I'm casting 9th level fireball. I have three secondary casters. So that's 60-foot radius of a fireball. It's fine. Like 3rd level, so it's 1d6 plus 1d6 for every level above 3rd. So that's plus 6, right? So 8 plus 6 is what? I can't do math. 14. So that's 14d6 basically is a 9th level fireball. Wow! Look at all those ones. What a terrible roll. That's a 9th level fireball. What do you mean? Yo. You're joking, right? Like that's more like it. Like 14 times 6 is what? 84 max damage. For a level 9 spell, 84 points of damage in an AoE for a dexterity saving throw? I don't know. 60-foot radius? Seems weird. Again, they have to expend a spell slot. They could do other things. Prolong. When you cast a spell that's a duration of a minute or longer, you can increase the duration of that spell depending on the number of secondary casters contributing to the spell, as detailed in the table below. Each secondary caster contributing to the spell must expend a spell slot, no action required. If the spells fail, these spell slots aren't expended. So, if I have 1 to 3 casters, I can increase the duration by an hour. Um, an hour-long haste, an hour-long bless. Like I'm saying, this works out better for lower level spells than it is for higher level spells, right? Like say for example, like again, the chances of you having 4 to 6 secondary casters in your party is slim to none. Like honestly, unless you're doing like an all cleric party or an all paladin party or whatever it is, right? It's a weird one. So I guess you have NPC secondary casters, so you could probably extend, I don't know, something like aid for 16 hours as opposed to just 8 hours, right? But then I can just use a sorcery point and extend it if I'm a clockwork sorcerer. I can just use one, I think it's one sorcery point to increase the double duration of the spell. 8 lasts for 8 hours. If I use extended spell while casting it, it lasts for 16 hours. So immediately, one class is doing what 4 other casters have to do here. Now, I'm saying this right off the gate, just off the top of my head. There might actually be spells that are completely viable to be extended in a way, in any way, shape, and or form. Also, keep in mind, you can only have one circle casting option at a time for each spell. So yeah, only one option on a spell at a time. I can't do prolong and distribute. Can't do that. It's one spell or nothing, right? So again, weird one. Very, very weird. Because on top of my head, I don't see a use for this for players, but I can be completely wrong about that, without question. So keep that in mind. I may dabble in this in one of my games, but I'm not 100% sold on the concept of this, right? Safeguard. When you cast a spell that creates an area of effect, you can carve out a safe zone within the area of effect that is unaffected by the spell for its duration. This safe zone consists of a number of 5-foot cubes equal to your spellcasting modifier bonus, plus a number of secondary casters contributing to the spell. You can arrange the cubes as you like, but each cube must be contiguous with at least one other cube. If the spell's area effect moves, the safe zone moves with it. So this is basically Sculpt's spell, which what evokers get. I guess this is a way for you to put down something like I said, Sickening Radiance, for example. Your players can just be in a safe spot inside, unaffected by the spell. Everything around them gets hit by everything, right? So there is precedent to use this, but again, it's better used by DMs than players, honestly. Supplant. When you cast a spell that requires at least one material component and a specified cost that is consumed by the spell, you can reduce the minimum cost of one such material component completely by 50 gold pieces per secondary caster. So we have 2 secondary casters. Revivify requires 300 gold pieces worth of diamonds or diamond dust. We have 2 secondary casters that reduces by 100. So again, sure, like this is a way for, how do you call this? Like this is a way for DMs to have temples or priests or whatever it is cast spells like a Revivify or any other spell that requires gold to be cast for free by getting a bunch of casters around, and then voila. So here's this thing. A cast complete spell must expend a spell slot of a level greater than or equal to the spell slot. Okay, so perfect. Yeah, there you go. So there is caveats to it. So every spellcaster in the area must, if you're doing Revivify, everyone must contribute a 3rd level spell slot. Sorry. So yeah, again, perfectly fine. You can do Revivify for free if you have. Can you do math? Can I do math? I can't do math. I am so bad at this. I apologize. You can completely negate the cost of Revivify by having 6 people casting. So you and 5 other secondary casters. Wait, hold on. You can reduce the minimum cost of one such material by 50 per each Oh, right. So I need 7 casters. So me doing the casting and 7 other people contributing. to make Revivify for free. I mean, stuff like the other spells, which are also pretty good. Hallow, all those kinds of spells. All those spells are there. This, again, I keep reiterating this over and over and over and over and over again. Circle magic is better used by the dungeon master or game master than it is by the players. So I'm not sold on this for players. But again, if you guys have thoughts, leave them down below. If you have ideas, let me know. Again, I'm clearly not thinking of certain spells are not popping into my head right now. But if you could think of ways for these effects to be better used by players specifically, then we can talk about it. All right. But educate me in case I'm missing something. Again, conceptually, cool idea. Execution, I'm not crazy about it. But I'm happy to be wrong. I'm always happy to be wrong. Okay, let's move on to... Wait, the same thing? Yeah, that's it. Cool. Let's move on to the spells. So we've got how many spells? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19. 19 spells. Okay. 19 new spells they've added for players to use and DMs to use as well. So let's go through them alphabetically, as it says right here. So, Illustrial's Mooncloak. Level 5 Abjuration for bards, druids, rangers, and wizards. Casting time of an action, range of self, and it costs you, not costs you, you need a moonstone worth 50 gold pieces on your person, okay? Concentration for up to a minute, okay? So for duration, moonlight fills a 20-foot emanation originating from you with dim light, okay? While in that area, you and your allies have half cover. That's valuable. Resistance to cold, lightning, and radiant damage. I don't know about this one. I mean, okay, wait. Sorry. Let me be clear. Resistance to anything is good, right? I think this is more campaign dependent, I suppose. Like if you're going to be running up against a lot of creatures that do these specific damage types, then maybe Mooncloak is good. Like it's got more value. But just getting half cover, that's pretty much like what, a +2 to your AC at all times while you're within the area, right? Yeah, if you're actually, do you want to stick together in a 20-foot emanation? That kind of puts you in prime location for, area of effect spells. So it's, feels like a trap. Level 5 as well, 20-foot radius. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm keen on that. Okay, so while the spell lasts, you can use one of the following options, which ends the spell immediately. So, first is Liberation. When you fail a saving throw to avoid or end the frightened, grappled, or restrained conditions, you can take a reaction to succeed on the save instead. The moment you do that, Liberation ends. It's me. Not anybody else? Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Okay. Weird. Okay, fine. Respite. Or respite. As a magic action, you or an ally within the area regains hit points equal to 4d10 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Okay, at level 5, 4d10 plus. Okay, let's roll that out. Roll 4d10 plus 5. What are we looking at here in terms of healing? I mean, 31 points ain't half bad, not gonna lie. That's what, 45 points of healing at max? You're averaging about what? 22, 23? No, even less than that. 17, 18? I mean, it's still junky healing, don't get me wrong. But for a 5th level spell, but immediately ends the spell. So immediately everybody in 20 feet around you loses a +2 to their AC. They lose a resistance to cold, lightning, and radiant damage. All for you to heal one person. I don't know about this. Like the only the value it has is this. the duration, as long as you maintain concentration, right? Like if this gave you ability to, actually no, because then it ends as well regardless of this kind of pointless. I'm not sold on this. I like the idea. This half cover is quite cool. But the rest of it, I'm like, I don't know. But respite is a big chance. Big chance. It's a big chance for healing. So yeah, maybe. On the fence on this one. Backlash. Level 4 Abjuration for bards, sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards. It's a reaction in response to taking damage. 60-foot range, verbal only. Okay, so you ward yourself against destructive energy, reducing the damage taken by 46 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Okay. Roll that out. Once again, we'll just assume you have max of your spellcasting ability modifier. 18 points of damage. What else can we get on that? It's like what, 29? No. I mean, it's not bad for a 4th level spell. Reducing damage by 19 points. That could be good. Now, what damage is this? Okay, so if the triggering damage was from a creature within range, you can force the creature to make a Constitution saving throw. The creature takes 46 force damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful. Wait, what? Wait. Any damage? Anything. So, yeah, it just says triggering damage. So this is area of effect spells, Dragon's Breath, a guy hitting you with a sword, a dagger, an arrow, as long as they're within range, of course. Okay, wait a second. So you what? So if so let's say let's say my enemy is at 70 feet, right? I can't reduce that damage. They have to be within 60 feet of me to get that damage off, to get me to reduce that damage. That just seems weird. Oh no. It's only the triggering damage from a creature within range. Only then. Okay, never mind. Yo, this spell's sick. If they're within range, if they're within 60 feet, then you can make them take force damage, or you can just reduce the damage. So between shield, mirror image, counterspell, or backlash, you've got a lot of defensive options as a spellcaster. And it's cool that bards get, because I still don't think bards get counterspell. You have to use your magical secrets to gain counterspell. So pretty cool. You know what? So far, best spell thus far. This is pretty damn good, actually. Holy shit. This is actually kind of nuts. You could just reduce damage like crazy, dude. Like 46 plus 5 doesn't seem like much, but rolling it out, that is not insignificant in terms of numbers. Genuinely. Like, I rolled more or less like a couple of ones in every single one, more or less. Yeah, like majority of them have ones in them. And that is still quite a bit of mitigation of damage. I'm not mad at that. Like, at minimum, bare minimum, you're mitigating 9 points of damage. But like, this is pretty good. 20 points of damage reducing against you, against any damage. That's pretty good. Like, even fucking Goliaths can't do this with their stone's endurance. Like, not happening. So, pretty cool. All right, up next, Blade of Disaster. Level 9 Conjuration for sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards. It's a bonus action to cast, 60-foot range, and you have to concentrate up to a minute. Okay. You create a 3-foot-long blade-shaped planar rift that lasts for the duration. The rift appears within range in a space of your choice, and you can immediately make up to 2 melee spell attacks, each one against a creature or object within 5 feet of the rift. On a hit, the target takes 10d6 force damage. Nani? Okay, so it's 10d6. How do we do this? Roll out. So 10d6 per turn, like per hit, right? So max 60, averaging about 30. This is 2 hits of Blade of Disaster. That is what? 71 points of damage? And if I crit, let's say that's the crit. 71 points of damage. And that's the second hit. Yo. It's nasty. That's really nasty. It is 9th level though. So doing 70 points of damage per turn on top of being able to cast other spells as well. Kinda huge. It's huge. That's kinda nuts. And as a bonus action on your later turns, you can move the river up to 60 feet and repeat the 2 attacks against a creature or an object within 5 feet of it. So basically, it's spiritual weapon on steroids. So yeah. Wait, hold on a second. So on the first turn, we can hit a creature twice. And then in your subsequent turns, you can direct the attacks at the same or different ones. So let's say I'm hitting a one guy, tak, tak, tak. There are 2 people, I go tak and tak. What can I do on the first turn? Why does it specifically say on your subsequent turns? Weird. And it can pass through any barriers, including like Wall of Force. Oh my god. You can create a freaking blender with this. Make Wall of Force as small. Wall of Force can go 10 by 10, right? A 10-foot radius sphere. Make it a 5-foot radius sphere. Trap somebody inside, and just send Blade of Disaster in, and just go whirl, brrr, just blend somebody. Nasty. This is a 6 spell. Concentration I'm not crazy about, but at the same time, it chunks. And by this point, you have enough and more things to help you maintain your concentration. You'll be fine. Better than Wish? No. Better than Power Word Kill? No. But still pretty damn good. Alright, level 3. Cacophonic? Cacophonic? Wow. Cacophonic. Why does that sound wrong to me? Or whatever. Cacophonic Shield. Level 3, Evocation, Bard, Sorcerers, and Wizards. It's an action to cast range of self. Concentrate up to 10 minutes. Okay. Thunderous reverberations fill a 10-foot emanation originating from you for the duration. Whenever the emanation enters a creature's space, and whenever a creature enters the emanation or ends its turn there, the creature makes a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d6 thunder damage and has the deafened condition until the start of your next turn. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage only. Okay. A creature makes the save only once per turn. Okay. When you cast a spell, you can designate a creature. You can designate creatures to be unaffected by it. In addition, you have resistance to thunder damage. Okay, and range attack rolls against your made resist. Ooh, this is kind of nice. Again, situational, of course, but it's ranged attack rolls, not ranged weapon attack. Even stuff like Firebolt, Starry Wisp, even spells with attack rolls are made at disadvantage, which is kind of cool. The deafen condition for against enemies is not as valuable. It's better used against players, because when you're deafened, you can't get healing word doesn't work on you. Bardic Inspiration, you can't gain Bardic Inspiration if you're deafened. You'll be able to hear them, right? That is, Bardic Inspiration requires sight, maybe. But anything that requires you to be heard, deafen immediately removes the situation. Again, don't know how this deafen condition situation is for like against enemy creatures. I guess it's more of a roleplay situation where no one can bark orders at them, stuff like that. So it's a weird one. But this is kind of cool. The range attack rolls are made at disadvantage, is kind of nice. If you're a swords bard or a blade singer, this could be good because you're getting into the middle of the fight, right? You're jumping in sword in hand and just stabbing people. So an extra 3d6 on top of that for your stuff, pretty damn good. So yeah, I mean, again, this is fine. It's perfectly fine. It's not amazing, but it's useful. It has value. I think it has value myself. So that's pretty cool. Conjure Constructs. Level 3, Conjuration for Wizards. Action, 60-foot range. You need a, well, fine. Concentration up to 10 minutes. You conjure a group of intangible, orderly spirits that appear as a medium group of modrons or other constructs in an unoccupied space you can see within range. The spirit lasts for the duration. When you cast a spell and as a magic action on subsequent turns, wait, what? Okay. You can command spirits to target one creature or object you can see within 5 feet of you. The spirits create the following effects. Okay. Wait. Oh no, it's oh. Okay, when you cast a spell, you can make the effect happen. Then on subsequent turns, you have to use your action again to do the. Okay, cool. That's fine. So, Clockwork Force. Target makes a dexterity saving throw, taking 3d6 force damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. That's fine. Orderly Ward. The target gains temporary hit points equal to 1d6 plus your spellcasting modifier. When you move on your turn, you can also move the spirits up to 30 feet on occupied space you can see. Okay. Clockwork Force, don't much care for that. Orderly Ward, though. That is concentration. I don't know, man. It's a weird one, right? Like 1d6 plus 5, max 11, average like about 6 or 7, give or take, I think. Yeah. Temporary hit points, max 11, yeah. I don't know. I don't think this is worth it. Like 36 force damage is fine, but then that's better done by like, I don't know, like Spirit Guardians or something. It's just better with those. That's kind of a spell than this one. Because this one, like, but the thing is, Spirit Guardians moves with you, right? So you can just constantly hit multiple targets. This is one target. Yeah, it's a single target for a 3rd level spell. When I have spells like Lightning Bolt, Fireball, Haste, Hypnotic Pattern. Yeah, no, just how about no? No, this isn't this. No. Again, I'm sure there's application for this, but I don't see it. Although I don't see it, like I would never pick this up for myself. I would never choose this spell. Right? Not happening. Death Armor. Level 2 Necromancy. Sorcerer and Wizard. It's an action to cast. It's got a range of touch. You need an onyx worth 50 gold pieces, which the spell consumes. Oh, okay. And it lasts for an hour. For duration, an inky aura surrounds one creature you touch. Target has advantage on death saving throws. That's always valuable. And once per turn, when a creature within 5 feet of the target hits it with a melee attack roll, the attacker takes 2d4 necrotic damage. Ah. I don't know. Do I like this? I mean, okay, it's non-concentration, it's an hour. 2d4 constant necrotic damage if they hit me in melee. But if they're all spellcasters and ranged attackers, that 2d4 is useless. I only get advantage on death saving throws. Basically. It is a level 2 necromancy though. Shame you can't upcast it. Like if I could upcast this and the attacker damage goes up from just 2d4 necrotic. Like 2d4 necrotic every turn. Like say they got multi-attack, they're gonna hit you 3 times. So we roll 2d4. Oops. 2d4 3 times 1. 2. Right? That's what, 70 points of damage? It's not insignificant. But is it, I don't think it's good either, right? Like at early levels, sure. You can see how this would work really well at early levels. But late game, like if you're a level 2 party, you're up against, I don't know, something with multi-attack. Okay, yeah, well, you know what? Actually, yeah, never mind, I take that back. There is potential for this to be good. But it is an onyx worth 50 gold pieces. Onyx ain't easy to find. Yeah, that's a weird one, isn't it? That requires an onyx. Now, how common are gemstones in stores or whatever it is? I don't know. But if getting an onyx is easy, then fine. Cool. Great. Good spell. Good early game spell. But once you hit like level 7 or 8 or 9, this thing severely loses value. But for the early game, this is actually significant. Actually, I'm not mad at this. Early game, great. Use this as you please. Darien or Darian. Darian's helpful homunculi. Level 2 conjuration for clerics or wizards. It can be cast ritually or it's an action to cast. Powder gemstones worth 100 gold pieces, which the spell consumes, and 1 set of artisan tools which you have proficiency. Right, so you need to have proficiency in some artisan tools. Okay. Lasts for 8 hours. Summon a group of helpful spirits, which lasts for the duration. The spirits appear as homunculi or as another construct of your choice, but are intangible and invulnerable. They are considered to have proficiency in the Arcana skill. Not sure why that's useful. And with a set of artisan tools used as well as casting. If you are crafting an item, the spirits function as a single assistant for your crafting, halving the crafting time. I don't like that. Like this is basically there to, because I mean, first of all, fucking artificers don't get the spell, which is weird. This should be an artificer spell as well. Yeah, so this is just to stop people from breaking the game, I suppose, but that's dumb. Because it's summon a group of spirits, right? But is it specific to the tool? That's the thing. Like, can I use artisan's tools and build a weapon? Or do I need a blacksmith's tools? Like, if I want to build a piece of armor, can I use a tailoring kit to build armor? Or is it specific to the task? I'm assuming that comes down to DM caveat, I suppose. DM decides what makes sense, I suppose, but not crazy about it. But again, this has some downtime stuff that you can do, so this could be fun. Right. No, I mean, okay. See, wait, what? Okay, that's fine. The crafting item. So, okay, if I want to build a wall, they have 8 hours to do it. How are they building the wall? Do they need materials? I'm assuming they need materials. See, again, this is helpful spirit. It doesn't say what, I mean, apart from crafting an item. Like if I want to build a carriage, or I want to build, I don't know, a house, a castle. I mean, like, how much can a group of helpful spirits do in 8 hours? How much can they build? This is the kind of information we need. Or are you just leaving it to the DM to decide? Dirge, level 6 enchantment for bards and clerics. It's an action to cast self concentration up to a minute. Deathly power fills a 60-foot emanation originating from you for the duration. When you cast this spell, you can designate creatures to be unaffected by it. Any other creature can't regain hit points while in the emanation. Whenever the emanation enters a creature's space, and whenever a creature enters the emanation or ends its turn in there, the creature makes a Constitution saving throw. On a fail save, the creature takes 3d10 necrotic damage and is knocked prone. Oh, that's fun. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and its speed is halved. That's still pretty damn good. Once per turn, that's fine. Oh, this can be cast as a circle spell. Casting this as a circle spell requires a minimum of 2 secondary casters. If the spell is cast as a circle spell, its duration becomes concentration up to 10 minutes. Okay, so distribute could be good for this. A creature that fails its save against the spell's effect also gains 1 level of exhaustion. Wait. Is this part of the circle casting or is this the Wait, what? Well, the creature has exhaustion levels. Finishing a long rest neither restores lost hit points nor reduces the creature's exhaustion level. When the spell is cast, each second. Oh no! No! Sorry. It has to be part of a circle spell. If you cast it as a circle, then it does all of this. Holy shit! That is again better used as a DM than a player. Motherfucker. Bards and clerics. Okay, so maybe a hag can't do this, but technically it'll be perfect for a hag, like a coven of hags. 3 of them do this, and they will fuck up your player's day. Holy shit! Level of exhaustion if cast as a circle spell. So 3 of you, concentration for 10 minutes, distribute, and then just run. Stay away from each other so they can't hit you all at the same time. And they're just, every time they fail, like again, they end their turn in the space. Wow. Yeah, this is vicious. Ooh. Second custom was must expand a 4th level. Yeah, okay, 1 6th level spot from me and 2 4th levels from my compatriots. Okay. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Players beware if your DM ever uses this against you. Holy shit. Okay, Doomtide. 4th level. With a name like that, it's a 4th level spell? Okay. Bard, Cleric, Warlock. An action to cast, range of 120 feet, concentrate up to a minute. You create a 20-foot radius sphere of inky fog within range. Okay? The fog is magical darkness and lasts for the duration or until a strong wind, such as, okay, disperses it in the spell. Okay. Each creature in the sphere, when it appears, makes a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 5d6 psychic damage and subtracts 1d6 from its saving throws until the end of its next turn. Okay. Vicious. On a successful save, the creature takes half damage only. Okay? The creature also makes this save when the sphere moves into its space, when it enters the sphere, or ends its turn. The creature makes a save only once per turn. Okay. The sphere moves 20 feet away from you at the start of each of your turns. Okay, so you can't command it. It's just put it down and let it go. Okay. 20 foot, is that? Yeah. So put this down a hallway and just send it against enemies or your players even. Okay. And circle spell casting. Okay. Casting this as a circle spell requires a minimum of 5 secondary casters. Wow. Okay. In addition to the spell's usual components, you must provide a special component. Special component, specifically a string of 3 black pearls from Pandemonium. Wow. Which the spell consumes. The spell's range increases to a mile, and the duration increases to until dispelled. Jesus. The spell ends early if any caster who participated in its casting contributes to another casting of Doomtide as a circle spell. When the spell is cast, each secondary caster must expend a 3rd level spell slot or higher. Okay. So I need how many? 5 people, it said? 5 secondary casters? Let's go back to circles for a second. To expand. So I can increase the radius of it to 70 feet with 5 secondary casters. Right? Right? Yeah. Okay, and it just rolls. So 70-foot radius and send it 10 feet every time I end my turn. It goes down a hallway. And no concentration. Can you circle spell into like a glyph of warding or something? But that would be interesting. Or as part of a contingency or something, maybe? Again, circle spells better used by the DM than it ever be by the players. Good, there we go. All right, Elminster's effulgent spheres, whatever spheres. Level 6 evocation for druids, sorcerers, and wizards. It's an action. You need an opal worth 1,000 gold pieces. God damn. Okay, and lasts for an hour. Okay, 6 chromatic spheres orbit you for duration. I'll check into that. While the spheres are present, you can expend spheres to create the following effects. Absorb energy. When you take acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, you can take a reaction to expend 1 sphere and give yourself resistance to the triggering damage type until the start of your turn. So absorb elements, basically, right? Which, funny enough, is not in the 2024 version. Only artificers get it, from the looks of it. So yeah, so 6th level spell triggers the effect of a 1st level spell. Again, always this is great. If you don't have access to absorb elements, this is great. But specifically those element types. Solid neutral storm, that's fine. Energy blast. As a bonus action, action to cost, yeah. You can send one sphere hurtling towards a target within 120 feet of yourself. Make a ranged spell attack. On a hit, target takes 3d6 acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage. And regardless of whether you hit, the sphere is expended. The spell ends early if you have no more spheres remaining. If you upcast it, you get 1 extra sphere. So level 9, I have 9 spheres. I can gain resistance to anything per turn. And I can hit only, even if I cast at level 9, I still do 3d6 damage. And it's only 1 sphere per turn. I can't send all of them at once as a bonus action. I can't just fire them off. It's per turn. 3d6 per turn. I don't know, man. I mean, okay. So here's the thing. Right? Once you cast it, right, it's active. Then you still have your action to do whatever you want. And then as a bonus action, you get to throw the 3d6. I mean, it's not bad. Would I pick this up for myself? I don't know. Again, see, remember, I'm looking at all this in a vacuum, right? I'm thinking about a situation in my head, and I'm like, when would this become useful? It's great that it's not concentration. And I still have my action on subsequent turns to do whatever else I want. Well, the bonus action can always be just firing crap out. So, and it's got a range of 120 feet. Like I can throw it out to 120 feet. Yeah, so not bad. I'm not crazy about it, but it's not bad. But I have 6 turns, unless I'm using my reaction to absorb energy. I have 6 turns to do 3d6. On top of my spell that I'm casting. So most likely I'm just going to be using like a cantrip or something. When do you get access to 6th level spells? Direct for the sake of it. 6th level spell casting starts at level 11. Right. So level 11, I think you're doing 3d6 or 3d10 for Firebolt, right? Yeah, so 3d10. So I can do 3d10 fire on my action, and bonus action 3d6 fire on my next attack. I take it back. This could be interesting. A lot of damage, actually, isn't it? So let's roll this out. So roll 3d10 plus 3d. It's not insignificant damage. Per turn, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what is that? 42, 71. I can, you know what? Why am I even trying to do this math? Hold on. Plus 27 plus 21 plus 21 plus 31, 31, 24. That's 155 points of damage over the course of 6 turns. That's not bad. It is 6 turns though. But it's not bad. I'm on the fence, but I think this could be quite powerful. Quite powerful. Because you can fireball somebody then hit somebody. You know what I mean? So yeah, options are there. I would never upcast this though. Seems like a waste. I would just cast a 6th level leader that. There's a 6th level spell as well. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Elminster's Illusion. Illusion? Level 2 Abjuration for Wizards. It's a bonus action to cast, a range of self, concentration up to 10 minutes. Arcane Words protect you against magic for the duration. You have advantage on all saving. Wait, whoa. Excuse me? I have magic resistance for a level 2 spell as a wizard. What do you mean? Also, is a dragon's breath a magical effect? What is a magical effect? But whatever, I have magic resistance on a level 2 spell. Bro, what do you mean? Additionally, if you succeed on a saving throw against a spell or a magical effect, would normally take half as much damage, you take no damage. So basically, I have evasion and I have magic resistance on a level 2 spell. Level 2 bonus action spell as well, as long as I'm concentrating up to 10 minutes. This is valuable at any level of play. What even? Holy crap. This is insane. Bruh. I mean, that's the only caveat is concentrated, but then it's a saving throw. Actually, wait, hold on. I mean, it's even though it can spell specifically. Any attacks, it's just saving throw. It's magical. It's magic resistance, basically. Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is great. This is perfect. This is amazing. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Ship it. Ship this. Ridiculous. Absolutely insane. Broken. Fuck that. Love it though. Holy Star of Mistral. Level 8 Evocation, Clerics and Wizards. I suppose, yeah. Bonus action casting for self, concentration up to a minute. You create a glowing mote of energy that hovers above you for a duration. The mote sheds bright light in a 5-foot radius and dim light for additional 5 feet. Okay? When you cast a spell as a bonus action, on later turns, you can unleash a shining bolt from the mote, targeting one creature within 120 feet of itself. Make a ranged spell attack. On a hit, the target takes force damage or radiant damage, your choice, equal to 4d10 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. In addition, while the mote is present, you have 3 plus 5 to your AC. And if you succeed on a saving throw against a spell of 7 or lower that targeted only you and didn't create an area of effect, you can take a reaction to deflect that spell back at the caster. Okay then. What level does Disintegrate as a spell again? Disintegrate is a level 6 spell. Right. So, if Disintegrate is casted at me at level 6, and I have this spell, I can use my reaction to send the Disintegrate back at the target. Wow. It is a level 8 spell, though. That is disgusting. 40 10 plus 5. Again, it's 45 points, 45 max damage, averaging about 20, 22, give or take. Not insignificant, though, right? Like, it's one target. Yeah, target one creature, 120 feet of yourself. They take force or radiant damage, your choice. 40 10 plus 5. And just take your spell back, bitch. Here you go. Keep it. I don't want it. Kind of nuts. But yeah, it has to be a single target spell. It can't be an area of effect spell. Well, that's pretty sick. It's basically a reflective carapace, which is what the fucking Tarask has. So, yeah. Nasty. Pretty cool, though. But have fun with that. This could be good. Again, how often are you going to get to be able to play with a level 8 spell? Unlikely, but the opportunity is there. Laeral's Silver Lance. Level 3 Evocation for Clerics, Sorcerers, and Wizards. Action. Self, and you need a silver pin worth 250 gold pieces. Instant spell. Silver energy bursts out from you in a 20-foot long, 5-foot wide line. Each creature of your choice in the line makes a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 2d10 force damage and has the prone condition. Okay. So you shoot out a silver lance, like for a visual perspective. 120 foot long. I believe that's the same length as this lightning bolt, right? Lightning bolt is 100 feet long. Never mind. 120 feet. 3d10 force damage as opposed to 86 lightning damage, right? Lightning bolt is 86? Yeah. They're knocked prone. I mean, sure. Okay. And I see the vision, but I'm not crazy about it for the third level. You know what I mean? Like if you had made this, I don't know, 80 feet, let's say, and made this a second level spell, then 3d10 force damage, I think would make sense in lock prone position. But third level, I'm not overly keen on that. Damage increases forever, yeah, that's about it. If they fail to save, they instantly get knocked prone, which can be good. But depending on where they're at in that 120-foot range, may not be very useful, right? But there's opportunity for stuff. So it's not bad. Not great, but not bad. Maybe I'm underestimating the value of the prone condition. Because I know we're not prone, enemies within 5 feet of you have advantage against attacks on you. That's always valuable, right? But apart from that, I don't know. But plus also, they have to use half their movement to get up. So you're already limiting how far they can move away from a location as well. So prone does have precedent for being a very good condition to inflict. But I don't know if I like it on a third level spell just like that. But maybe it works out. Like I was saying, if you guys have used the spell before, tell me how it works in game. Like tell me if it's effective in game, basically. Because it's a flat 3d10. If you had 3d10 plus your spellcasting modifier, then maybe. But yeah, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna try and pronounce this. So symbol or symbol? Cynostodeomer? Cynostodeomer? Wow, I'm not gonna try. Fuck it. That. This thing. Level 7 transmutation for sorcerers and wizards. It's an action, it's touch, and it lasts for an hour. Okay? You imbue one creature you touch with magical healing energy for the duration. Whenever the target casts a spell using a spell slot, the target can immediately roll a number of unexpended hit point die equal to the spell slot's level and regain hit points equal to the rolls plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Those dice are expended. This is great for a last stand situation, I suppose. Level 7, it's high level casting. You're what? Level 13? Level 12. I think level 13 with access to the 7th level. But I mean, yeah. So if I'm casting at 7th level, I'm level 13, I have 13 hit die. I can roll 7 hit die to heal myself. I mean, it's a way to stay alive, right? Like okay, you cast it yourself, go into a big fight, and instead of having the cleric keep you alive, you just go, "Hooah," and I'm going to roll out the hit die. So it's d6s, right? Because you're a sorcerer or a wizard. So let's say roll 76 plus, was it? Ability modifier, yeah, so plus 5. For every spell I cast, as long as I have hit die. So for half my hit die total, I heal for 32. One spell. Next round, I try that again. I have 1 hit die left. No, I use all my hit die. It's 13, right? It's actually 70s. It's 66. Wow. Of course, less variance. Um, is this good for level 7? Because you're losing hit die, but they are your resource to be used, and you gain half of them back on a long rest. So there is precedent for it. I'm not crazy about it, but there is value, I suppose. Maybe. Like again, you have to use it and see how it feels, but I don't know if it's worth it. Songgal's Elemental Suffusion. Level 5 Transmutation for druids, sorcerers, and wizards. Action. You need a pearl worth 100 gold pieces and a concentration up to a minute. Okay. You imbue yourself with the power of genies. Oh, that's fun. You gain the following benefits until the spell ends. Elemental Immunity. When you cast a spell, you choose one of the following damage types: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder, and you have resistance to the damage type. Then this is a misnomer. It's not immunity, it's resistance. Fuck you for that. Okay, you get resistance to one of these damage types. Cool. When you cast a spell, fine. Elemental Pulse. When you cast a spell at the start of each of your subsequent turns, you release a burst of elemental energy in a 15-foot emanation originating from yourself. Each creature of your choice in that area makes a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, creature takes 2d6 acid, cold, fire, or thunder damage and is knocked prone. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage only. Gain a fly speed of 30, and you can cast a circle spell. If the spell is cast as a circle spell, its casting time increases to 1 minute as opposed. Oh, it's no non-concentration 1 minute. Oh no, it takes 1 minute to cast as opposed to an action, right? Yeah, okay. As duration increases to concentration of up to 10 minutes, right? For each secondary caster who participates in the casting, you can choose one additional creature to a maximum of 9 additional creatures. Oh, for each secondary caster who participates in the casting, you can choose one additional creature to a maximum of 9. The chosen creature also gains the benefits of the spell for duration. Okay? When the spell is cast, each secondary caster must expend a level 2 spell slot or a. So for a 5th level spell, I'm going to do 2d6 for every turn. A 15-foot emanation. They take 2d6, any elemental damage, and they are knocked prone. Okay, this has value. If you're up against a bunch of grouped up enemies like goblins or whatever it is, just keep knocking their asses prone. Okay, this can be pretty good. Also, like this can be like this can work as a circle spell for players, right? Let's say 3 of you. Sorry, so your primary caster and 3 other spellcasters, all of you can get access to this. And the best part is you can distribute the concentration part of your circle, and all of you are concentrating on it, and you all have 10 minutes of flight speeds and everything. Actually, you know what? This is terrifying. This is actually kind of scary. This is pretty cool. I like it a lot. Yeah. Because you can fly. You can just fly up in the air out of range and just boom, 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 boom. What's the range on this, by the way? It doesn't say. Wait. Oh, it's an air. Oh, never mind. It's only around you. You can't cast it somewhere. Oh, you have to be in range. Enemies have to be within 15 feet of you for this to be. Yeah. Yeah. No. No. Oh. Yeah, just no. Forget it. Never mind. It's a cool idea, but I wish it wasn't around you. You could target a location and do that. Never mind. This is trash. No trash. I'm not a fan. Spell Fire Flare. Level 1 evocation for sorcerers and wizards. Action 60-foot range. Instantaneous. You unleash a blast of brilliant fire. Make a ranged spell attack against target within range. Target gains no benefit from half cover or 3/4 cover. Ooh, fun. On a hit, the target takes 2d10 radiant damage. Is this worth a level 1 spell slot? Okay, if you cast this at 9th level, you get to hit 9 different targets for 2d10 radiant damage. And they don't have cover from you unless it's full cover. I mean, this is kind of like. Does it have value? That's the thing. Okay, as a level 1 spell, it has not enough value. But then 2d10 right out the gate at level 1. And radiant as well, so. You roll out d10. What are we looking at here? That is not insignificant damage, though. Like, it's still decent, right? Like, you're averaging about like 10, 11 points of damage, essentially. At low levels, against one target, 12 damage ain't bad. But I'm not sold on it. Is it bad? No. Does it have value? I don't think so. Like for an upcast, it could be good. Because wait, what was it called? Scorching Ray is what again? Scorching Ray does 2d6 fire damage for each hit. This is a second level spell. But it's 3 attacks. While this, at second level, I can target 2 creatures or 1 creature, hit them twice for 2d10. So let's say I'm hitting 1 target 3 times. So that's 66, right? No, 96. Scorching Ray. Was it 2d6 or 96? Was 3d6? What was it? 2d6, never mind. Yeah, so yeah, 3d6. So I'm rolling 66 at second level. If I upcast Spellfire Flare to second level, I need 2 targets. I hit, again, same target. That's 4d10. It's got a higher average, doesn't it? It does have the higher average. Because that's 66, that's 2d6 rolled, attack rolled 3 times. This is at second level 2d10. Okay, let's go an attack roll. 40 damage versus 36 points of damage. Maxed. I think the 66 would be more consistent versus a higher average for the 4d10 on one target. Like I say, it's got more value as a upcast spell than it does as a level 1 spell. But an option is there, so try it out for yourself. See what you think. See how you think it feels. If you like it, let me know. Or if you've used it before, you know. Okay, spell Firestorm. That's a lot of stuff. Okay, level 4 evocation. Sorcerers and Wizards. It's an action. 60-foot range, concentration up to a minute. You conjure a pillar of spellfire with a 20-foot radius and 20-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. The area of cylinder is bright light, and each creature in it, when it appears, makes a Constitution saving throw, taking 4d10 radiant damage on a failed save, half as much on a successful one. A creature also makes this save when it enters the spell area for the first time on a turn or ends its turn there. Why would it walk into this? Mind. A creature makes a save only once per turn. Fine. In addition, whenever a creature in the cylinder casts a spell, the creature makes a con saving throw. On a failed save, the spell dissipates with no effect, and the action bonus action, or reaction used to cast it is wasted. If that spell was cast with a spell slot, it isn't expended. So it is a constant state of counterspell. When you cast a spell, you can designate creatures to be unaffected by it. Okay. So, okay, cool. There we go. Fine. Casting as a circle spell. In addition to the spell's usual components, you must provide a special component, a blue star sapphire worth 25,000 gold pieces, which the spell consumes. Oh my. The range of the spell increases to a mile and it no longer requires concentration. From so a range of 60 feet, I can now cast it a mile away. When the spell is cast, each secondary caster must expend a level 3 spell slot or higher. And using high level spell slots increases the damage by 1d10. Okay. Number of secondary casters determines the spell's area of effect and duration as shown in the table below. The spell ends early if any caster who participates in casting contributes to another casting of spell Firestorm as a circle spell. So 1 to 3 secondary casters. Area effect becomes a 40 foot high, 40 foot radius for an hour. We lose concentration? Yeah, okay. 4 to 6, 60 foot radius, 60 foot high, wide and high, 8 hours. 7 plus, 100 foot radius high, 24 hours. You could. This is basically a particle cannon, for better or for worse. This is a fucking particle cannon. Holy shit. It's kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty cool, actually. Not kind of cool, it's pretty cool. I mean, this, however, is the limiting factor. Like here, you are like if I need to get my hands on a sapphire worth 25,000 gold pieces, I am upcasting this to level 9. Okay, bro. I'm upcasting this level 9. So that is 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 5 more, 5d10 more. That's 90-10 radiant damage on a circle spell. So 90-10 radiant damage. Let's roll that out. 90-10. 27 points of damage every 6 seconds. Concentration free. If we can keep everybody trapped in that radius, I can throw my paladin, my barbarian, any of my melee fighters in there, and just, it's basically a UFC cage doubling up as a fucking particle cannon. Holy shit, this is vicious, dude. This is fucking vicious. I like it. Players can use this to fuck somebody's life up. DMs can use it to fuck players' lives up. So, pretty cool. Terrifying, but pretty cool. Siloon or Siloon's Viper. Level 3 concentration for druids or wizards. Bonus action to cast. Lasts for an hour. So a shimmering spectral snake encircles your body for the duration. You gain 15 temporary hit points. The spell ends early if you have no temporary hit points. Okay? While the spell is active, you gain the following benefits. You gain a climb speed equal to your speed. 8. Venomous Bite. As a magic action, you can make a ranged spell attack using the snake against one creature within 50 feet. Okay? On a hit, the target takes 1d6 force damage and is poisoned. No save. And they're incapacitated. Oh my god. Bruh. Bruh. No save. If I hit you, you take 1d6 damage and you're poisoned. And when you are poisoned, you are incapacitated. Which means no actions, movement, or reactions, or anything. You could do nothing on your turn. This is horrific. But of course, if they're immune to poison, then it doesn't matter. But resistance, this thing bypasses resistance. Because again, there's no save. You're just immediately incapacitated. Dude, this is nuts. Yeah, this is a fabulous spell. For third level, the damage isn't great, but the incapacitation in itself is kind of huge. And the temporary hit points you get as well. So upcasting this also is valuable. So there is value to upcasting this, 100%. This is a good spell. Holy shit, this is not okay, but it's a good spell. And last but not least, Ward Away. Level 1 Abjuration for bards, clerics, paladins, and wizards. Takes an action, 60-foot range. Instantaneous, that's fine. You hurl a disorienting magical force towards one creature within range. Target must make a Constitution saving throw. Constructs and undead are automatically, they're not affected by this, basically, I guess. Yeah. On a failed save, target takes 2d4 force damage. Its speed is halved at the start of your next turn. And on its next turn, it can only take an action or bonus action, but not both. At level 9, that's 9d4. Right? No, 18d4. What is 18? What is that damage? I mean, it's not worth casting it higher than that. You're mainly doing this for the speed halving. And you're limiting them to an action or a bonus. This is better for DMs than it is for players. Not many creatures have bonus actions. At least if I'm, again, I don't remember the monster manual off the top of my head. I looked at it ages ago. In fact, I read the monster manual last year when it came out. So I'm a little rusty on the monsters. But yeah, not many of them have quote unquote bonus actions because normally action economy is in the player's favor, right? So this is better off being used by a DM than a player, but the player can also use it. It's basically like Tasha's Mind Whip. Not bad. But yeah, I mean, those are the spells for the Heroes of Faerun. Some pretty cool ones, like Backlash is disgusting. This is also disgusting. Useless, I feel. Value, early levels, yes. This, I don't care. This is kind of vicious. But this is also potentially quite vicious. I'm not sold on this one, but I can see the potential of it. This is fucking broken. This is also broken. This, don't care about this one. Again, there's value, but I don't know if it's good enough value. This started off as a good idea, then I'm like, not crazy about it. But maybe there's ways to make this work, potentially. This has value at by being upcast. Honestly, this is just disgusting. This is phenomenal, and this has value. All in all, I'm not mad at these spells. Kind of cool. They've got an application. They've got ideas. I mean, of course, for me to judge their efficacy, I'm gonna have to use them in my own games themselves. But right now, I can't do that because I'm running a game right now. But I can't just throw these in, because if I throw these in for me to use, I have to give them to the players as well. And I don't know if we're going to be able to make it work in a coherent kind of way. But that's going to be the video. Bit of a long one because we had to go through the fine details and potential uses and ideas for the various spells. So I do apologize for that. But thank you guys all so much for watching. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. And if you like the video, hit the like button. And if you want to see more stuff like this, as we're going to continue looking at several other parts of the books, especially the factions, hit that subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys all next time. So from me to you guys, till then, peace out.